Hello students, I am Latika Likha. I am gold medalist in MPhil Mathematics and I have been associated with Ask IITians for the past 3 years as mathematics faculty. So now we will be beginning the chapter on applications of integration, in which basically our focus would be on area under curves. Now as the name suggests, area under curves is basically based on your graphing of curves, and therefore it is very important to master curve tracing. This chapter has been split up into various parts, in which first of all we will be discussing the different cases of bounded area, and then we will be discussing some of the standard curves, standard areas. So you will have to memorize those formulae, and they are very few in number and they are quite simple also. Then we will be moving to various other concepts like average value of a function, determination of parameters, and we will be discussing various questions based on these concepts side by side. We shall also discuss curve tracing, in which you will get to know how to exactly you are supposed to draw a curve, in which you will also get to know how to judge the symmetry of a curve. So basically in the first part we will be concentrating on different cases of bounded area. Let's begin. Okay, so now we will be beginning a very interesting and an important chapter, that is applications of integration. So basically in applications of integration we will be concentrating on area under curves, in which obviously, as the name suggests, you will have to compute the area enclosed by certain curves. So for this obviously you need to know your curve tracing. You should be able to draw your curves, only then will you be able to compute the area enclosed by those curves. So let's begin. First of all, we will be beginning with the different cases of bounded area. So in that, the first thing is the area bounded by the curve y equal to fx, the axis of x, and the ordinates x equal to a and x equal to b, where b is greater than a, is given by this. Okay, so there won't be any need to memorize these formulae. Obviously once you understand it, you won't have to memorize them. And first of all we will be drawing the curve corresponding to this. It says the area bounded by the continuous curve y equal to fx. So suppose we have this is a continuous curve y equal to fx, right? This is the curve y equal to fx, and we have to find out the area enclosed or bounded by this curve y equal to fx, the axis of x, that is the x-axis, and the ordinates x equal to a and this is x equal to b, right? So the area that we are required to find out is basically this area, this entire area, this. We take a strip to denote that this is the area that we are required to find out. And so this entire area of this portion that is enclosed between the continuous curve y equal to fx, x equal to a, x equal to b, and x-axis would be equal to, now this is a, this is b, right? And y coordinate is obviously 0. So the area would be a equal to integral a to b fx dx, that is integral a to b y dx. So see, this is quite simple. Once you are able to draw the curve, you can easily compute the area. And corresponding to this, now suppose we have to find out the area bounded by the continuous curve x equal to fy, the axis of y, and the abscissa y equal to a and y equal to b. Now see, suppose this is the curve, this is the y equal to b, this is y equal to a, it's given b is greater than a, so this is a, this is b, and therefore we are required to find out this area. This strip is denoting that this is the area that we are required to compute. Then this area would be given by, as we discussed in this case, this area is given by a equal to integral again a to b fy dy, that is equal to a to b x dy, because our fy is x. Next case that we have is the area bounded by the straight line x equal to a, x equal to b, where a is less than b, and the curves y equal to fx and y equal to gx, provided fx is less than gx, where x lies between a and b, is given by a equal to integral a to b gx minus fx dx. Now how do you get this? See, the moment you have the figure in front of you, the picture is quite clear. Until and unless you draw the figure, you won't be able to find out these areas. So now we have the straight lines x equal to a, this is x equal to b. Then we have the curves y equal to, suppose this is y equal to gx, y equal to fx. It's given fx is less than gx, so we are taking this is fx and this is gx. Then this is the area, this entire area is what you are required to find out. This strip is denoting that this is the area that we are required to find out. And so the area would be integral a to b. This is a, this is b, that is a0, b0. So integral a to b gx, the area enclosed by this curve minus, that would be this entire area, right? Minus the area enclosed by this curve, that would be this entire area. So we finally get this area. So it is a equal to integral a to b gx minus fx dx. Next, again, instead of we had y equal to fx, y equal to gx, now we have x equal to fy and x equal to gy. So the area bounded by the straight line y equal to a, y equal to b, a is less than b, and the curves x equal to fy and x equal to gy, provided fy is less than gy. You can see the figure. Now this is y equal to a, y equal to b, fy, gy. So this is the area that we are required to find out. That would be again a to b, gy minus fy dy. Again on the basis of same concept that we have just now discussed. Next thing that we have is when two curves y equal to fx and y equal to gx intersect, the bounded area is a equal to integral a to b gx minus fx dx, where a is less than b and a and b are the roots of the equation fx equal to gx. Now see, it's given that suppose we have two curves y equal to gx, this is y equal to fx and they are intersecting. Then the area would be, this is a, this is b, a and b are roots of equation fx equal to gx. Then area would be again a equal to integral a to b gx minus fx dx, where a is less than b. These concepts would be much clearer once we switch on to the examples, right? Again, parallel to this, we have when two curves are of the form x equal to fy, x equal to gy and they are intersecting, a and b are the roots of the equation fy equal to gy, then the area would be given by a to b gy minus fy dy, where a is less than b. Gy would be this area enclosed by gy, then we will have fy enclosed by fy would be this area. So ultimately once we subtract, we will get this area, right? Now we can have cases, you can have cases when the curve lies below the x-axis. Now if a curve lies in the downward direction, then the area would be negative, but area can never be negative, right? So how can area be negative? Obviously it cannot be negative. So what we will do in such cases is that we take the modulus sign with the formula so that the area is not negative, right? So if some part of a curve lies below the x-axis, then the area will become negative. So, and we know that the area can never be negative. So what we will do is we will put the modulus sign. Now we have a curve, this is the curve that crosses the x-axis, this is the curve that we have y equal to fx, and suppose it is crossing the x-axis at c, then the area bounded by this curve and the ordinates x equal to a, x equal to b, where b is greater than a would be given by area is modulus of a to c, this is a to c, modulus of a to c fx dx plus modulus of c to b fx dx. So a to c is positive, therefore we have a to c fx dx, but c to b, this area would be negative and therefore we will have minus of integral c to b fx dx. So whenever you have a situation of this form, you can just split it up. You can take the modulus sign and compute it in this way. Again, parallel to this, we will have if some part of a curve lies to the left of y-axis, we have this is the curve, these are the ordinates, Then again what you will do is you split it up into two parts, and we'll have area would be A to C, modulus of A to C Fy dy plus modulus of C to B Fy dy. Now this is positive, so it will become A to C Fy dy. Then we'll have minus C to B Fy dy. Next case that we have is the area bounded by y equal to fx and y equal to gx, where x obviously lies between a and b, when they intersect at x equal to c belongs to ab is given by, now this is y equal to fx, this is y equal to gx, these curves are intersecting at a point c, right, and this is x equal to c, so these curves are intersecting at the point c which lies between A and B. This is A, this is B. Then how do you compute the area? Now this area would be A to B, mod of fx minus gx dx, or you can split it up into two parts. Again we can write it down like A to C, this area fx would be this entire area, A to C fx minus, okay, I'll denote it by a different color so that it's clear. Now A to C fx would be this area, now minus A to C gx would be this area. So ultimately you'll be left with this area, and that is what we require. So you'll have it as A to C fx minus gx plus C to B gx minus fx, on the basis of same concept. Like we'll have C to B, you'll have gx, this area minus this area, so you'll ultimately be left with this area, right? So now parallel to this case, we'll have area bounded by x equal to, this is fy, this is gy. You can have area is integral A to B mod of fy minus gy dy, or you can split it up like A to C fy minus gy plus C to B gy minus fy dy. So I hope these cases would be much clear to you, but yes, once we switch to examples, it would be much clearer. By now you must have realized that curves are extremely important, figure is extremely important in area under curves. Once you draw the figure, the picture is much clearer and you can just compute your, you can just solve out your question. So the first example that we have here is that find the area bounded by the parabola y equal to x square plus 1 and the straight line x plus y equal to 3. First of all, draw the figure. So we have to find out the area bounded by parabola and the straight line. First of all, we'll draw the parabola. So this is the parabola y equal to x square plus 1, right? So this is 1. This is my axis, and then we have a straight line x plus y equal to 3. Let me draw it again. So I have a parabola y equal to x square plus 1. This is my parabola y equal to x square plus 1. And then I have a straight line x plus y equal to 3. So this was 1, and then I have, this is minus 1, this is minus 2. So from here I have a straight line, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So this is our straight line x plus y equal to 3, right? So find the area bounded by the parabola y equal to x square plus 1, this is our parabola, and the straight line x plus y equal to 3. So basically you have to find out this area, right? So first of all, in any such question, what should be your line of action? Firstly, you will find out the points of intersection. How do you do that? Y equal x plus y equal to 3, given line. And what about parabola? Parabola is y equal to x square plus 1. So the two curves meet at points where 3 minus x is equal to x square plus 1, which means x square plus x minus 2 is 0, which means x is minus 2 and 1. In fact, you will first of all find out these points of intersection so that you will know that you have to draw a line from this, or you can draw the graph also, but your measurements should be very accurate, right? Okay, so we have found out the points of intersection, that is minus 2, this is minus 2 and this is 1. Now, therefore, the required area is, now you know that the required area would be minus 2 to 1 integral. So, you know the limits, this is minus 2 to 1, and what about this? What would be the function? Curve would be 3 minus x square plus 1 dx. So, we are required to find out this area, that means we will find out integral minus 2 to 1, area enclosed by this y dx, the formula is integral a to b y dx. So, y from the equation of line is 3 minus x, so we have area enclosed by this line minus area enclosed by parabola. So, that is 3 minus x minus of x square plus 1, minus 2 to 1, 2 minus x square dx, and so you have 2x minus x square by 2 minus x cube by 3 from minus 2 to 1, and you will get your answer as 9 by 2 square units. So, this is the required area. Once you draw the figure, the picture is clear in front of your eyes and you can easily compute the area. The next question that we have is, find the area lying above x-axis and included between the circle x square plus y square equal to 8x and the parabola y square equal to 4x. So, area lying above x-axis, okay, and included between the circle x square plus y square equal to 8x, you can draw the circle, this is the circle x square plus y square equal to 8x, right, and the parabola y square equal to 4x is this. See, the graph should be very accurate, only then will you be able to compute your area very easily. So, once you have drawn the figure, this is simple, you just have to draw the circle x square plus y square equal to 8x and the parabola y square equal to 4x, and therefore the required area is this shaded portion. So, first of all, again we will find out the points of intersection. So, solving the curves, we get, what do you get once you solve the curves? That x square plus 4x is equal to 8x, which means x is 0 and 4, right. So, 0, they are intersecting at 0 and they are intersecting at 4. Now, required area, now it is clear that we will have to split it up into two parts. We will first find out integral 0 to 4, then we will find out integral 4 to 8. So, required area is 0 to 4, and this area in 0 to 4, it will be area of circle, this whole area minus area enclosed by parabola, right. Sorry, we need to find out this shaded area, right. So, this area would be simply 0 to 4 area enclosed by parabola. We need not consider the circle in this region, that is integral 0 to 4, because we just need this area. I have shaded it, this area would be integral 0 to 4 area enclosed by parabola. So, we have y dx and this y is corresponding to parabola, plus we will have integral 4 to 8 y dx. Now, this 4 to 8 is just the area enclosed by circle. So, this is corresponding to circle. Y para means y of parabola and y corresponding to circle. So, now as far as this is concerned, let us just find out, this is simple, area of circle in first quadrant is 1 by 4 pi r square, and the equation of circle is x square plus y square equal to 8x. So I can just rewrite it in the form x minus 4 square plus y square would be equal to 4 square. I've just added 4 square on both the sides. You can just open it up and check the equation. Right, you have understood the area of the equation of circle. So this means area of circle in first quadrant. So area of circle in first quadrant was 1 by 4 pi r square. R is now 4 square. That means it's 4 pi. So area is 2, 0 to 4 under root x dx plus 4 pi. This is from this equation, required area. Okay, let's denote it as A. Required area is this, and this we have found out is 4 pi. So A equal to 0 to 4. Y square is 4x, means root 2x. So we have 2 root x dx 0 to 4 plus 4 pi. So this would be equal to 2x raised to the power 3 by 2 from 0 to 4 plus 4 pi. So this is basically 4 by 3 x raised to the power 3 by 2 from 0 to 4 plus 4 pi, and this is 4 by 3 4 raised to 3 by 2 plus 4 pi. This comes out to be 32 by 3 plus 4 pi square units. So I suppose this question would also be clear by now. The main line of action whenever you attempt to solve out the questions of area under curves should be that first of all try to understand the question obviously, and then first attempt should be to try to draw the figure. Once you have drawn the curve, once you have drawn the figure, you can easily evaluate your limits of integration. Once you get to know the limits of integration, you can evaluate the area enclosed by the given curves. So I hope you must have understood the various cases of bounded area. We discussed various cases like if you have a curve of the form y equal to fx and you are supposed to find out the area bounded by this curve, the x-axis and the ordinates x equal to a and x equal to b, then that area is given by integral a to b fx dx, or you can say integral a to b y dx. So now in the next part we will be concentrating on some standard areas. So we will be discussing the various formulae of some standard curves and the area bounded by them. So stay tuned.